the website of YouTube, where a young and hyperactive cartoon character is ready to introduce a special month dedicated to one of his favorite animators. Hello, I'm Big T Looney, and it's Craig McCracken Month.
Tell me why you cried and why you lied to me.
Now that you know who the man is, it's time for you to know about the cartoons he's created. For the next 2 weeks, we'll be talking about the Powerpuff Girls. So, this show premiered on November 18, 1998. It's about the Powerpuff Girls, who were created by a scientist named Professor Utonium, who wanted to make the perfect little girls using the 3 simple ingredients: sugar, spice, and everything nice. However, Chemical X was accidentally added to the mixture, and out came the Powerpuff Girls. These girls have superpowers that they use to beat the crap out of baddies, and they do so before bedtime. Let's take a look at the characters for this show, shall we? First, there's Blossom, voiced by Kathy Cavadini, the leader of the group. She's smart and determined, and feels that it's strategy that wins battles. Next, there's Buttercup, voiced by E.G. Daly. She's the tough one who loves beating up baddies the most, but she's shown from time to time that she has a sensitive side. Finally, there's Bubbles, voiced by Tara Strong, and my favorite of the trio. She's sweet, bubbly, and innocent. She has a soft spot for animals, and she's constantly nice to people. However, there have been times where she's showed her ugly side. It ain't pretty. We move on to Professor Utonium, voiced by Tom Kane. He's very caring for his girls, and he wishes for their safety, but he isn't overprotective. Most of the time. He is mostly calm and collected, but there have been times where he freaks out and goes crazy. Next, we meet the mayor, voiced by Tom Kenny. He's basically your typical bumbling politician who is ignorant and unaware. I wonder what political party he belongs to. Anyway, the mayor's my favorite character on the show, and he cracks me up whenever he's on screen due to how much of a moron he is. Next is Miss Bellum. Rawr. She is the mayor's right-hand woman who always has to point out issues for the mayor, and she has to be the voice of reason while he's being goofy. We move on to Pokey Oaks Kindergarten, where we meet Miss Keene, voiced by Jennifer Hale. She's the mother figure of the girls as she's calm, understanding, and protective. We then meet the talking dog, also voiced by Tom Kane. He doesn't have much of a character, but he's a talking dog, so I'm not complaining. Next, we're going to talk about the characters that made this show interesting to watch. The villains. First, Mojo Jojo, voiced by Roger L. Jackson. He's the girl's arch nemesis, as he's a highly intelligent ape who speaks in a convoluted and repetitive pattern. For you see, he makes the same point over and over again, but he changes it up a bit by using synonyms for key words, just so he gets his point across. He feels he has to repeat himself, so people will take him seriously, and he has to be listened to. He has to speak that way, rehashing what he says, in order for people to listen, because he is Mojo Jojo! Okay, I think I've talked enough about Mojo. Next, we move on to Fuzzy Lumpkins, voiced by Jim Cummings. He's a fluffy, hillbilly bear-like thing who always carries a shotgun around and doesn't want anybody to come near his property. I'm surprised TSC hasn't made a reality show about him. Wait, they probably tried to, but Fuzzy shot the camera crew. You did us all a service, Fuzzy. We move on to my favorite villain in the show, and the villain that had you all hiding under your covers when you were a kid. Him, voiced by Tom Kane. He's practically the devil. Yeah, that sums him up. He's what you would get if Satan and the Blue Meanie had a baby. Next, there's Princess Morbucks, voiced by Jennifer Hale. She's a spoiled witch who wants to be a Powerpuff Girl, but she's always denied because, well, she's a witch. Anyway, she's always using her money to get what she wants. Next, we meet the Gangrene Game, a group of teenage reptilian-like things who commit crimes mostly related to normal teenage hoodlum activities. This group consists of Ace, voiced by Jeff Bennett, Big Billy, also voiced by Jeff Bennett, Grubber, also voiced by Jeff Bennett, Snake, voiced by Tom Kenny, and Little Autoro, also voiced by Tom Kenny. Next, the Ulema Boys, a trio of amoeba gangsters who are always trying to be villains, but they're not very good at it. Finally, we meet Sedusa, a woman with snake-like hairs who is always disguising as hot women in order to seduce guys into getting what she wants. You can seduce me any day, honey. Well, that's all you need to know about the Powerpuff Girls characters. I know, I skipped over the Rowdy Rough Boys, but don't worry, I'll get to them come Friday's video. In the meantime, I'm going to go start a Mayor for President campaign. He's got my vote. So once again, the show is praised. Thanks to Ben T. Looney. Hey, you didn't talk about the narrator. What's up with that?
Well, I gave you everything I had, but you left me